take a moment. This is where we show up for the community. I kind of want to tell you what my evening consisted of. So I went to a candlelight vigil to honor the 49 victims that were murdered at Pulse Nightclub. Today marks 10 years. Can you believe that already? I still can't believe that it's been 10 years already. I was a little concerned, but when I first rolled up, there was hell and brimstone and homosexual Sodom and Gomorrah. I was like, oh shit, the OGs are here. The OGs are here. The OGs are here. Because it's been a minute. So it was like, wow, I forgot you guys exist sometimes, that you're still out here doing your radical shit. So he was out there screaming about our hell and brimstone and God made Adam and Eve and not Adam and Steve. You know, bro really said it too on the mic. I was like, I know damn well there's a preacher. I'm like, come on, bro. Like how many times do y'all gotta say it? Like, and the gays aren't even impressed. They're like, what do you mean? I thought God made all of us, and he says that he loves us and shit. I thought that's like, what do you mean? What do you mean he didn't make Adam and Steve? Yes, he did, because you said he did, that we were all wonderfully and equally made. Screw you. Y'all know I honor everyone, okay? I do. I respect all beliefs, but as long as you're not shoving it down people's throats. I did have some conversations, though, over there with some random other people where we talked about tolerance, and I said, listen, I'm not like them. I don't want to force you to accept me. I don't care if you don't accept what I do in the privacy of my own bedroom. Frankly, it's not your damn business. Here's the thing, right? You can believe what you want. I believe what I want. You don't have to accept me. I don't want you to accept me. Honestly, it'd be kind of weird if I asked you to accept what I do in the privacy of my own bedroom. It's kind of creepy. It ain't your damn business, right? That being said, I'm not here for your acceptance, right? But what you do got to do is we got to tolerate one another. The fact of the matter is, I'm going to be at the family picnics. I'm going to be there with the soccer, doing with the kids. Tolerance doesn't mean acceptance. Tolerance means honoring you. It means that we are never going to see eye to eye about anything. Right? But, well, that's not true. I bet you don't believe men or women either.
Does that mean I needed
You don't believe children should be indoctrinated with medical ideologies, have their tits cut off. Like, we're on the same line with that, right? So that side hates me. This side hates me. But I equally stand here all alone, completely by myself. So when I first went there, I will say, because it was in my community, somebody had already known who I was. And so as soon as I arrived, they started like taking the rainbow flag, trying to block me. It went from the rainbow flag to then the umbrella. And I kept saying, like, what are you doing? I'm a homosexual. Please, I'm just trying to see the stage. And at first, I didn't recognize who this person was because, I mean, they were picking up the flag like all crazily. And then so, yeah, that happened. Today I chose to, instead of like protest, I was there to show up for my community, and that's exactly what I did, and I think I showed it brilliantly. The preacher had a gigantic megaphone. It was really fucked up because there was a moment of silence while we were reading some of the names, which was at least respectful, but the majority was just screaming and hollering while people were like trying to honor and listen to spoken word. I was kind of jacked up. So when I first arrived, and I just went ahead while they were screaming about Sodom and Gomorrah and the evil, that we're doing, I just held the sign and said, it's okay to be gay. It's okay to be same-sex attracted. And of course, I'm wearing my Make Lesbians Female Again shirt. Homosexuality is based on biological sex. There was random lesbians coming out of like restaurants and taking pictures with me as we like held the sign of like dyke power and unity. It was pretty cool. There were moments where the preacher was getting really under homosexual skin. There was a lot of homosexuals, lesbians that were, let's not say a lot, just a couple, that were up in the preacher's face. They were like this close, and I'm like, oh my God, y'all are gonna go to jail. Like, don't go to jail, calm down. Do not let these religious folks bring you to prison. We gotta breathe, lesbos. We gotta breathe, my powerful fire dykes. We gotta breathe, okay? So that was all I was doing at that point, was a lot of defusing, so that way people weren't antagonizing and getting, angry. But to play devil's advocate, again, I go back to what I said. Homosexuals are angry. They've been shamed by the church. When you're being screamed about Sodom and Gomorrah, you're going to burn to the fiery pits of hell. This is how a lot of people are going to react to that, right? Like, they're going to react with vitriol. They're going to react with trying to push back with oftentimes violence. But I am glad that, at least from my understanding, there was no violence that escalated. There was a moment where there was another dyke there, and she got upset really upset, and I just stopped what I was doing, and I consoled her. I made sure that she felt that there was somebody there for her, because she was really experiencing, and she was very emotional, and she was getting really, really angry. And at that point, I just kind of took my cardboard in between, and I was like, listen, and I gently put my hand on her back, and I was like, you don't need to go to prison for religious bigots. It's time to walk, right? And so we walked over there, and like I said, I did a lot of the chanting, and I felt more drawn there. Plus, I could barely hear, and then when I did try to go over, there was that situation. However, I will say there were several people there that did see my shirt, that still said thank you for coming, that handed me a candle, right? That were grateful that I was there. My friends, I'm so happy that I took my own advice and stepped out and did something, right? Because that's what I keep talking about. We all know that we're against all this ideology, but what are we for? We're for community, right? We're for friendships, we're for rebuilding, right? And that's how we as a community need to show up. And so that's what we need to do. Grateful. I'm grateful because I was able to hold space. Right, because that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to care for our community. We protect our community, right? That's what we're supposed to do. So it was uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie, it was. I was nervous on both sides. It was uncomfortable having to go into activism. Dude was like, why you dress like a man? Just be a man. I'm like, but I'm not, am I? Right? I'm like, though, but I'm not, though, am I? I'm like, come on now. I'm like, it's just, I'm comfy. I like hats. I like baseball hats. And I like comfy t-shirts and carved up hats, okay? Because I like it. That's what we're supposed to do. So it was uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie, it was. I was nervous on both sides. It was uncomfortable having to go into activism. Dude was like, why you dress like a man? Just be a man. I'm like, but I'm not, am I? Right? I'm like, though, but I'm not, though, am I? I'm like, come on now. I'm like, it's just, I'm comfy. I like hats. I like baseball hats. And I like comfy t-shirts and carved up hats, okay? Thank you again so much for being for something. Thank you for being for the community. This is how we do it, guys. We got to go back to the spaces. We got to let people know that we're here. They're not alone. Big Bulldogs, we need to come back out and start wearing these t-shirts. Start wearing things that are pro-homosexual and go to these events because they're made for us. When it's a pride event, that's for us. We shouldn't be sitting at home. The problem is we don't want to go because the faces that are looking back at us are unrecognizable. We're like, we don't know you. Who are you? But the reality is our community actually needs us. A lot of these young people are caught up in this ideology. They don't have the role models the way that they used to. Us as torchbearers and elders to lead that way for them, help them, teach them, show them, guide them, right? They need us. All right, y'all, let me know your comments, your thoughts about my crazy day today, and that I'm very grateful for.